Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. I am so glad to be back with you this week. We missed last week. It was just crazy, crazy time here for us with no power for 5 days and trying to keep us and the fur babies warm. And yeah, it was a little bit crazy. We had a big chunk of a tree come down. So yeah, hoping to not experience that again, honestly. Okay, so I've got a fun project today that I've been working on here. And so it's not a card. Going to be doing something a little different today. So I'm going to be doing hidden paper clips. That's what I've been working on, what I'm going to do with you. And so if you're into junk journaling or, hi Seal, thanks for joining me. Um, Journaling of any kind, art journaling, um, maybe even just for reading, or I don't know if people use these in their Bibles, however you want to use them. They're little hidden paper clips to tuck this little item to wherever you want to tuck it or use it as a bookmark. So they're lots of fun to make, and I'm going to be using this stamp set, which is the Bird's Eye View. It's available in the annual catalog. This is just a really fun set with all these cute little birds in here. You can pop them up onto a stack of books, a branch. There is two kinds of glasses here that you can put on them if you want, and a monocle. I suppose you could turn that around, turn it and use it as a balloon if you wanted to. But yeah, so this is a really fun set. So let's get started. I've already stamped the little bird that I'm going to use because I had stamped a bunch of them out. This one is this little guy right here. I had stamped a bunch of them out, and I actually used my scan and cut to cut them. Um, so I had it miss this one so I could color it up with you, and I will just fussy cut it because actually there's nothing much to cutting it out. There's not a die set for this stamp set. Okay, so I have pulled some markers here that I thought I might want to use. And I'm thinking, actually, I think I'm going to start with the wing and then I will go from there. I want to see what, this is Light Flirty Flamingo. I want to see, I'm just going to brush some of these colors on here, and then we'll go from there. Those colors are very close, aren't they? So we've got Light Flirty Flamingo and Light Calypso Coral. I'm going to be using Fresh Freesia, the light and dark. So let me see what I like better with that. They both look pretty, I think. These are so close in color, I don't think it matters, but I'm kind of leaning towards the Light Calypso Coral. I think that's the way I'm going to go. Okay, so I'm going to be having yellow in there too. So how do I want to do these colors? See, this is my problem, and why it takes me so long sometimes in my journals is because I tend to overthink, and I just have to make myself stop and go. Just quit thinking about it and do it. Okay, so Actually, I'm not going to start with the wings since I can't make up my mind. I'm going to start with the belly, and I'm going to do this saffron. So I've got the light so saffron and the dark. This bird reminds me of, we have had the tiniest, I mean, tiny little birds. I don't know if they're quite as tiny as a hummingbird, although some hummingbirds are a little bit bigger. But these little birdies are tiny. I think there's some kind of a chickadee or something. They were out by my driveway yesterday, and I snapped a few pictures from the window, which actually the pictures turned out really well. But they're so cute. Okay, there we go. That's the belly. And the head, I want to do in this color, the fresh freesia. I'm gonna start with the dark. So what is kind of interesting, I don't think these are the same birds that I took a picture of not long ago. They could be, I suppose, but I thought they were much smaller. So I took some pictures of those other birds, and my phone actually gave me the information of what birds those were when I went back and looked at the picture information. I don't even know why I looked at that, but yeah, it put the name of the birds. Our phones are really smart, aren't they? All right, so there's fresh freesia, and the tail, I think what I will do, this is going to be a very colorful bird. So I'm using the dark fresh freesia here. I'm just gonna make its little tail fresh freesia, I guess, and I will do the light on the other ones. Hello, hi guys, thanks for joining me. I love this little bird set, it's so cute. I don't know what it is about birds, I just always tend to be drawn to bird things in my crafting. All right, so now I want some of this color in the wings, so let me just put it in there, and then I'll go back, I guess, and see what else I want to do. I just need to commit here to doing it. All right, I'm going to put it right here. Actually, let me use the other tip, because for whatever reason my brush tip on this one's really soft, and I don't want to go outside the lines particularly. All right, this is a fun bird. Okay, so now let's do some of the light fresh freesia. And then I will go in with maybe the dark so saffron here. All right. I'm holding this up actually because I want to see if for whatever reason when I hold it up if the picture gets blurry. So I'm waiting to see what happens when I can see it on my iPad. Huh. I noticed when I did my ribbon video that was my mom's ribbon, um, that when I hold things up, they tend to want to blur, but yet when I was just playing around in my living room and I held my hand up, yeah, it's kind of looking blurry here. So I need to figure out what that's about, why that is happening, because I don't like that. I don't want my video to be blurry for you guys. But at this point right here, it looks pretty clear and good. All right, so there is that. And actually, I'm thinking that's kind of cute. Okay, I'm gonna put his beak here in Dark Night of Navy. Just not quite as intense as black, but you know, still dark. Cute. All right, cute little birdie. We're gonna go with that. And I will just cut him out here real quick. So I probably should be working on Valentine things, but I'm not yet. I've got stuff out here. I'm going to be taking part in a tag exchange that is Valentine themed. And I have to have those done and ready to mail out by the 10th. So I need to get busy on that. All right. So, for those of you who are joining me here today, have you made any hidden paper clips of any kind? I think they're really lots of fun to make. I've made some with envelopes, and those are fun. All right, there's our little birdie. Okay, so now I need to decide. Actually, I want to pick a patterned paper. I've got some different ones out here. I pulled out this one. I kind of like to pick the patterned paper for these. This is the Lighter Than Air. This is in the little mini catalog that's current right now. And so some of the colors in here, yeah, are the same. Ooh, the stripe might be fun. The one on the back of this. Well, let me thumb through it real quick before I get too excited. Just to see. This one here would be cute too because it would pick up on that. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's make the decision to go with that. All right, so I'm going to do that as my patterned paper, and then for the base, is Calypso Coral one of the colors here? No, Flirty Flamingo is. Petal Pink. I kind of want to, let me pull out What is that color? Because that looks like Calypso Coral to me, but I think it must be Flirty Flamingo. All right, let's pull that color out. There's Calypso Coral. And here's Flirty Flamingo. I'm just leaning towards Calypso Coral. What do you guys think? Which one of these? This is Flirty Flamingo and this is Calypso Coral. This patterned paper is going to go on top of that. Do you have a favorite? What do you think? Which one do you think looks better? I'm giving it just a few seconds because it always takes longer for your guys' comments to come through on my iPad. Anybody got a suggestion for me? This one or this one? Oh, I'm just leaning towards this one. All right, I'm gonna go with Calypso Coral. Okay, so for the base, now this is just what I'm doing. You can make these any size you want. But here's what I'm doing. So if you want to write it down, I will I'll put the measurements in the description box afterwards. So for the base, if you want to make it the same size I'm making it, you're going to cut a piece of cardstock 2 inches by 6 inches, okay? So let's get 6 inches here. And 2 inches. So really super simple. And then you're just going to score it in half at 3. So very easy. All right, so that is going to be our base. And then for our layer of patterned paper, this is going to be 1/4 of an inch smaller. So we are going 1 3/4 inches. And 5 3/4 inches long. So that just cuts a little tiny piece of it off here. And then scoring in half for this is at 2 7/8. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to use my bone folder here to give that a little score. And there is that. All right, so I am going to corner round off the top layer. Do you see, well, I don't want to blur it, but this layer here is just ever so slightly shorter. For whatever reason, when I score, mine always comes out with one side that's just a little bit shorter. That's fine. I'm going to use this as my top, and I'm going to corner round the corners. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to, but I think what I find with it, and if you want to corner around them both, but what this gives is a little bit of lip because your paper clip, like I said, this is going to be a hidden paper clip. It's going to be inside there. It just makes it a little easier for something to catch to be able to pull the two pieces apart, if that makes sense. And you'll see when we get a little further along here what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with my patterned paper. Now, if you are using a patterned paper that has a up and down design, or you just need to make sure that your patterned paper is turned like this one. It kind of looks like waves, so I would probably want my waves to be going the right direction. So the other thing is that this one is actually going to be what I would consider a horizontal clip because it's going to slide on the page this way rather than this way. Just because my little birdie, I don't want it sticking out over the sides, so I decided to turn and have this one go this way because he's a little bit bigger of a bird than the other ones in the set. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of inking around the edges, and you don't have to do this step if you don't, like that look. But I like to do some inking, so that's what I'm gonna do. I just need to find my right little, here it is, dauber. And here's my ink pad for Calypso Coral. And so I'm just going to go around the edges and ink up a little bit. Get a little bit inky with it. So I got on a mission, our little story time at the end of my Thursday videos. I got on a mission to find some more of those little mini books. And I found that I was having a hard time. I just thought, well, I'll get on Amazon. Well, I couldn't find any on Amazon, and I thought, that's weird. So I ended up getting on eBay, and what I found there was quite surprising. I did find some. I found that a whole lot of them were over $100 a piece. I'm not kidding, like 120 something, or for these little tiny books that I read out of. So I'm guessing and thinking that what has happened is that they must not make them anymore, maybe? I don't know. I think that I probably found them in places like Barnes and Noble or maybe like the Hallmark store. I've just picked them up here and there over the years and didn't think too much about it. But some of them aren't really ones that have things that I wanted to use as my story time. So that's why I was looking for some different ones. So I found 3 on eBay. I ended up paying $30-some for the 3 of them. And I think they'll be fun ones to read. And then last weekend, we stopped at the Goodwill store that's closest to us. And I ran in there, and there were 4 little books, like the ones I read from, on the top of their bookshelf. Okay, I'll stop talking for a minute and tell you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to ever so slightly, in what's about the center of this, cut a little sliver right out of the top of the crease, okay? So see, you can barely even see it, but there it is, all right? And then I'm going to just take my dauber and go back over that. All right, so of the four books that were on their shelf, one was just a little book that actually was full of picture frames inside that you slide photos into. So I didn't get that one, but I did buy the other three. So I have those, and then the three coming from eBay. So I will have plenty of reading material. Okay, so now you're going to need, what are these, 2-inch? 50 mm. I think these are about 2 inches. Yeah, just about 2 inches. I wanted gold colored paper clips. I thought that would be easy. I looked around the few stores we have here where I live and couldn't find any. I really thought I could find them at Dollar Tree, but they didn't have them when I went looking. They might have them now. Anyway, I ordered this 200 thing of paper clips off of Amazon, and I didn't pay much for it at all. Silver paper clips work just as well. I just wanted gold ones. Okay, so you're going to slide this onto your little card here. Now I only trimmed that hole out of my top piece of paper. So you're going to put it in the middle, and you're going to leave it sticking up just a little bit because if you want ribbon. If you don't want ribbon, then you don't have to leave it sticking up, okay? But I want some ribbon sticking off of it. So just kind of get it, you know, centered in here best as you can. You don't need to go measuring or anything like that. And then what I'm going to use, because I've had this in my stash forever, and I'm pretty positive that this is carpet tape, okay? The brand on the inside, if you can read it, it says Intertape. It is a double-sided adhesive, but I'm pretty positive, you guys, that this is carpet tape. So you should be able to find it if you wanted to use this kind of stuff at maybe like a hardware store or something. You don't have to use this. I just have it, so, you know, I have this ginormous roll, so I want to make use of it. You can use, I'm thinking you could use tear and tape. You could use maybe some hot glue. You just want to get your paper clip something to hold it so that it's not going to move around. So tear and tape might hold it. Whatever you want to put on there. I suppose you could even try just regular masking tape, because that would be like a little bit heavier than like Scotch tape or something. So you want to, if you use something like this, you want to just cut it short, you know, shorter, smaller than what your patterned paper is, so that it won't be sticking out. So I just kind of like to put it on there and then use my bone folder to go in and get it stuck down as best as I can. And you might not even have to do this step at all, because you're going to be gluing this over the top. So I just like to take this extra little step to make sure that my paper clip isn't going to be moving around. All right, So here's the front and here's this. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of get my paper positioned on here where I want it. Pretty much. Okay, and then I can pull that up. I can take this off. So see, it kind of looks like a masking tape under there. I was gonna look it up and I forgot before I came on here to see. I was gonna look up carpet tape and see if it looks like that, but I am really pretty positive that that's what it is. But I bought it so long ago that I have forgotten. Okay, so I'm just gonna get my glue on there and fold that down. And we'll do the same thing on the back here. So how am I looking, you guys? Is it being blurry on your end? I need to know, so if it's coming out blurry, I can do something about it. We got new phones and it's an iPhone, so I don't know if I need to adjust the settings on it or something if it's being blurry. I definitely don't want blurry videos. Because then people won't want to watch me. All right, here we go. Okay, so there is that. Now then, I have this die, and this I find I've been using quite a bit for background things. And this comes from the Share a Milkshake dies. And you just got to look at your dies sometimes and see what you have that, you know, can be used for other things. But I love this as a fun little background. And now I just need to decide what color I want to have this. I'm almost thinking, okay, I think I'm going to do crumb cake. Let's just look and see how that looks. Where's my crumb cake? Here it is. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Just pull a scrap out here. I mean, we've got all these bright colors going on. I thought it might be, I'm gonna do it. Okay, do I have a smaller piece in here that I can use? Oh, that's cut out like a label already. This piece needs some, I must have been using this for something else that didn't work out, so we will just cut a chunk of it. And I'm thinking that I might want to ink on it after I get it cut out. Okay, I'm going to run this through my die machine real quick. Hey, that might even be fun. I think you could trim around that and use that. That is cute. All right. Better stick the pin back in my glue over here. Okay, not blurry. Thank you. Okay, I don't think I need to ink on it. It's too fine of a dye that I don't really think if I started inking on it, it would just ink up the whole thing. I just love this dye. Okay, so I'm using my little reverse tweezers here to hold it while I put the glue on it. All right, here we go. You could also use, in the catalog we have double stick adhesive that you can stick your cardstock onto before you die cut it for little fine dies like this. But I didn't do that. I have it, but I didn't do it, obviously. But it works really well because then all you have to do is pull the backing off and stick it down. And you get quite a few sheets in the package, so it lasts you a long time if you're just using it for things like this. Okay, don't go to sleep. Almost done. I just want to get it all glued down so it doesn't come popping up. All right, now then, I want to put it at an angle, but I don't want it to come off the sides. There we go. Alrighty. Now then, I'm going to glue the little birdie on. Now you can pop the bird up if you want with dimensionals. It just depends on how you want to use it. If you're going to use it as a bookmark or in a journal, I guess you just need to decide if you want that added dimension or bulk of popping things up that you're going to be putting in there. So that is why I'm gluing it down instead of popping it up, because I don't know how this is going to be used. But most likely in a journal, like a junk journal or an art journal, for me anyway. Let's see, where do I want to put this? I guess I will put him, where do I want to put him? All right, I'm going to put him like right there. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Okay, now then, ahead of time, I stamped and heat embossed with white embossing powder these little words, which I got from the Sending Smiles set. So the smiles was there, so I just had that on my stamp. I put some sticky note paper over this when I inked it up, and then pulled the paper back off and stamped it. And I did the same thing with the word hugs over here to get those. And I liked this font because it looks kind of like when you use your label maker. That was the look I was going for. All right, so since I have two smiles, I think I will use one of these. And then I'm just going to trim it down a little bit here. Okay, now I think I'll put it there. Now for this, I'm going to use, where'd they go? My glue dots. Don't ask me why. I just think it, so glue dots have just a touch of dimension to them. Plus they're super sticky, and I just decided to use glue dots for this part. So I am going to come back here. I'm going to put that right there. Okay, so now then, I've got some blingity bling bling here. Now these you can get free right now with a $50 order in the celebration things. It's one of the choices. These are the opaque faceted gems, and they're really nice. And that color there might be kind of pretty on there. That turquoisey might be pretty. I mean, these colors are all in that paper. Ooh, too many choices again. Oh, I'm kind of liking those. All right. Any of these would be pretty. These blue ones would be really pretty on there too, because that would make the little blue ones pop out. What are you guys yelling on your end? Which, because I'm sure you're doing that. I do it when I watch people's videos. I'm like, no, pick that one, and then they'll pick something else. It's like, no, I wanted you to pick the other one. Excuse me. Ooh, I'm kind of liking that. I think that this one, I can't really pull it off, and because it's taped down. Let me just slide this under there and see. Oh, the blue make it, I think the blue ones make it pop more. All right, so we're gonna go with the blue ones. So you get 2 sheets in the package of these. These are the pastel adhesive back sequins. They're in the annual catalog. And there's one sheet that's small and one sheet that is bigger. So I am going to take this bigger one and put it right there. And a little one there, and a little one somewhere else to make a triangle. There we go. Now, ribbon. If I can get these back in the package, there we go. All right. So, ribbon. I pulled some out of my stash. I've got this pretty ribbon that, this is the sheer ribbon combo pack. The yellow's really pretty. That would look good. I also pulled this out. I don't think this one's available anymore. But I thought because I was thinking of using the crumb cake that this might be kind of cute. But it's little. The yellow, let's look at the yellow. I think the yellow, it just looks pretty. Okay. All right. So here we go. You're just going to fold your ribbon in half. And then here's the tough part. You're going to slide it through. Sure you are. So you either need some fingernails or tweezers to grab that corner after you slide it through there. Of course, you could always stick the paper clip up a little bit higher, but then it kind of takes away the point of it being a hidden paper clip. All right. So there we go. I'm going to tuck that in there and pull this. And then I kind of just like to pull them apart and tighten that up a little bit. And there you have it. And then if you wanted to write a cute little message on the back, if you're gifting it to somebody, you can. And so here's how this works. It just slides in there and sticks onto your book page or whatever you want to use it on. Okay, easy peasy. That's how it goes. So cute and so easy and fun to make. Would you like to see the other ones I made? Okay. Here's this one. This cute little guy. I didn't put any glasses on him from the stamp set, but they would be really cute with glasses. Here's this one. I really like how the watercolor kind of effect worked out on that one. And again, these ones are vertical, where the one I made today was horizontal, so they just stick on like that. So there's that one. And then here is another one like the one we did today, because this birdie's a little bit bigger. And then I still have some little birds colored up to finish. I've got this one and another pink and blue one and this little guy here. Very, very fun to make, you guys. I hope you'll give it a try. And like I said, I'll put the dimensions of my, the way I cut my paper out. I'll put it in the description box below when we're done. But you can make them whatever size you want. You know, to fit the whatever image you're going to put on them. Okay, so we'll have our story time, but I just did want to remind you again that the mini catalog is available. If you haven't had a chance to look at the products, there's some really fun stuff in here. And then also celebration goes on through February. So there's all kinds of really fun things that you can get in here for free. You get to pick something out for free with a $50 order. Or if you were to order make $100 order, there's choices for that as well. You can pick out two $50 items, or you can pick out from the $100. There's a couple back here that are for $100. There's also this stamp and die set here, the Jungle Pals. You can get that free with a $50 order. And then with a $100 order, you can get the dies, the coordinating dies. So there's that. And then there's this bundle here that you can get the stamp and embossing folder. That's with a $100 order. Or this one is a big stamp set here that is with a $100 order. And what is the deal with this one? Yeah, 10 stamps. And it coordinates with the Pedal Park Builder Punch. Okay, so there is that. And I'll put the link to my store if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you already shop with. I will put that in the description box as well. Okay, I'm going to finish this little book out, and I'm really wishing that this page is coming out. I was wishing that wasn't like that, and I don't know how to go about even trying to fix it. Okay, this is the Little Joy of Angels book. They are celestial visitants flying on spiritual, not material pinions. Angels are pure thoughts of God, winged with truth and love, and that's by Mary Becker Eddy. Their faces were living flame, their wings were gold, and for the rest their white was so intense no snow can match the white they showed. Dante something. Alighieri. Oh, this is from the song. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply echoing their joyous strains. And that is a French Christmas carol. An angel robed in spotless white bent down and kissed the sleeping night. Night woke to blush, the sprite was gone. Men saw the blush and called it dawn. Paul Laurence Dunbar. Oh, look, that's just such a bummer. Jacob dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. Genesis 28:12. There was a pause just long enough for an angel to pass, flying slowly. And that's by Ronald Furbank. And that, my friends, is the end. It says this text, the text of this book is set in Paliard with display. Okay, I don't know. That's too much for me. Book by Maura Fadden Rosenthal. And so when I went looking for more of these little books, I looked to see who this book was, you know, who put this book out, or maybe what they were called, and I saw that they were called tiny tomes. So that's what I went looking for when I was searching for more of them. This book was $3.95, and like I said, now some people are asking over $100 for these little books on eBay. And I also looked for them on Etsy, and I really didn't find much on there as well. I found that I have one that's called the Tea Book. I found that one on there. I think it was $16 and something. But most of the little books that they have on Etsy are really tiny, like this much of this book, because they're made for doll houses or miniature things. So I didn't really find much on there either. But I'm happy that I'm going to have a stash of them now, and we will continue on with our little story time. I think the next one I'm going to read from is a book about shoes. It looks really fun and it looks like some really fun little things in it. So I think that one will be fun to do. All right, thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you liked seeing something a little different than cards today, and maybe give these hidden paper clips a try. They're so fun to make, and they would be really fun to give as little gifts as well. You could make some cute ones up for Valentine's Day, and maybe include them with a little box of conversation hearts. All right, take care. Thanks for joining me. I will see you in my next video. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.